you doing today, folks? Here in Connecticut, we have had an unseasonably cold last couple weeks, and for the last like 3 nights or so, it's actually been down to the single digits, like around 6 degrees when I woke up in the morning. So, well, I will say that it is ridiculously cold outside, and I mean, I've got like 3 layers on, maybe 4 layers. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. And nothing makes you appreciate a wood stove more than when you walk outside, and I think the thermometer was at like 15 or 16 degrees, but you go inside the house and the room with the stove is like 80. So I hope you enjoyed the little montage we had at the beginning of this video. But the reason I wanted to make this video today and talk to you guys was I put up a video maybe 4 years ago where I said it was 3 chainsaw sharpening myths, and it's one of my best videos. And one of the things I said was that I sharpen my chain basically every tank of gas, my chain on my chainsaw. And I got a lot of, I don't want to say I got a lot, I got some negative feedback on that, where people basically said that I'm a genius. And I deleted most of the comments because I don't mind people having a disagreement with me, but if you just come out and say you're a genius, whatever, I'm going to delete your comment. But I want to explain why I sharpen my chainsaw basically every tank of gas. And there's really 2 reasons. The first reason, which I want to show you in just a second, is most of the wood that I'm cutting has been felled. I don't really fell virgin lumber often, if ever. Most of the wood I'm getting is stuff that I've had brought to me by an arborist. So he'll fell the tree, drop it in dirt, and then he'll use he has a bobcat with a thing that squeezes the logs and picks them up and puts them in his truck. So he'll drag them on the ground, put them in his truck, dump them in the dirt and mud at my house, and then I'll roll them through the dirt a few times and cut them with my saw. Well, invariably, if you're cutting wood that's been on the ground for a while, it's going to pick up dirt, sand, grit, whatever. And just in the course of cutting, through 1 tank of gas, if you hit a few pieces of sand, your saw is going to dull. The other thing is I personally, I'm a chainsaw fanatic. I'm a sharp chainsaw fanatic, and I do notice a difference by the end of the chain. I don't notice the difference because it's a slow difference, but if I put a fresh edge on a chain, which literally takes like 8 minutes, I mean, real world, it takes me 8 minutes to just touch up a chain. So if I do that, I'll notice a difference when I get back to cutting. So for me, it's very much worthwhile to sharpen the chain every tank of gas. Felling virgin timber, I'm sure I could make it 2, maybe 3 tanks of gas before I had to sharpen a chain. But for my situation, for what I'm doing, and I assume for what a lot of you guys are doing, if you're going out and gathering wood and dragging it through the mud, I assume it's going to be a similar situation. Some of my regular viewers may recognize this pile of wood in front of us. There used to be 4 pieces of white oak here, and I was, toying with the idea of getting the Granberg mill and milling them. And honestly, my wood supply is so low that I wanted to get out and just cut these as soon as possible so the wood could start to dry out. So it was around 4:15 in the evening, and at this time of the year it gets dark pretty early. And I started cutting this log, and I had literally just sharpened my chain, and I started to get through this cut, and literally the saw, I didn't see sparks, but the saw just stopped cutting. And I, got frustrated because it's annoying when you don't even get through 1 cut with a new chain. But the next day I came out when it was a little bit lighter, and I'm sure there's a lesson about safety and not using your saw in the dark. But you can see all that mud on that log. As soon as I got to that mud, I made it maybe 2 inches in, and I lost my chain. And it was dull. It was, it cut, but it wasn't cutting very fast. So anytime you're cutting wood on the ground, you just have to be careful, of dirt and mud. But even if you are careful, it's going to be there. If I have, logs like these, I'll make all the cuts where I know there's no dirt first, and then I'll roll the log and finish my cuts. Once I've got most of the cuts done, I'll finish my cuts and do the ones that I know are going to be dirty last. So if there's only 1 inch or 2 of wood, even if I dull the chain, I'm hoping I can finish making my smaller cuts before I sharpen the chain the next time. I don't like to leave a dull chain on, but if I know I've just got a few cuts with some dirt, I will certainly go ahead and make those cuts first. And of course, you know, when I'm having a good day, I'll bring out a wire brush and brush this off. I will definitely come out with a hatchet and just kind of scrape off that mud in the bottom. So that's about it for today, folks. I just wanted to kind of go over that little detail for you guys, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. How you doing today, folks? You're a genius. So I hope you enjoyed the little montage at the beginning of this video. My lips are freezing. You're a genius. I got a lot of comments of people saying you're a rocket scientist. And I got quite a few comments of people basically saying, you know, you're a rocket scientist. Excuse me, I got to get something to drink.